What's going on, everybody? It's me again. It's Devin. So here we go. I've got a new podcast for you. I'm about to post. Actually, if you're watching this, it is posting. So here's the deal. This is Steve England and Tiffany Weaver. They got engaged on Beast Games. There was. I'm just gonna let you listen to their story. It is freaking amazing. These guys are awesome. They have probably one of the most unique, I would say, engagements a person could ever have. It's actually definitely once in a lifetime in the first inaugural season of Beast Games, and Jimmy didn't even show it. That's the part that I have a problem with. The fact that Jimmy didn't show it. He should have shown this because these guys have such an amazing story. It would have been an amazing side shoot for the first season of Beast Games. It would have been made amazing content. It would have been even just a short little reel is all they really needed to post, but they didn't post it. So it's kind of sad, but I'm glad to know that I've got the exclusivity of this all. I'm glad that they came to me and they allowed me to let them share their story. So anyway, go check it out. Go check out Steve and Tiffany and enjoy the story. We'll see ya. So what's going on, guys? We got Steve England and Tiffany Weaver. Is that correct? Am my information correct?
That's correct.
So you guys were, what were your Beast Games numbers?
Tiffany's 521. I was 177.
Yeah. Okay. So you were literally one over from that one row that got completely eliminated.
Yeah, I think, but I didn't make it that far, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, okay. So let's start from the beginning, I guess. Okay, let's tell me about you guys a little bit, and then we'll where you guys, how you guys met, all that information till we got up to, I guess, to Vegas, and then we'll go from there.
I'll let Tiffany start it out.
Go for it.
Oh my gosh, how we met? Well, I was trolling Facebook one day. Just kidding.
Facebook dating, not
Facebook
just
dating.
Facebook.
I know.
That scares the crap out of me, by the way, but I've never had to do it, so that's good.
Yes, it was I don't know. It was actually about a year ago today.
It was in January.
No, it was in December that I found you, but we didn't connect until January.
So she stalked you for a month.
Actually, that's not true. She refused to match with me.
I did. He actually matched with me, and I said, no, thank you, because you're 3.5 hours away, and I don't want to do that. That's far. And then he just kept, I don't know, he just kept wearing me down.
I wasn't wearing you down. I just kept coming up on your
feed. It just happened. And so I said, okay, fine. And so I hit okay. And
so the algorithm started wearing you down is what it was.
Yes, the algorithm started wearing me down.
Got it.
Yeah. So then we started talking. We met in person in February.
Okay.
And then I say we officially started dating in April. That's my story.
Well, okay, so I'll ask the question. You say in April, and Steve, you say what? February?
Well, it depends on what you call dating. I mean,
so that's what I'm getting.
Well, that's fair.
When I said, "Will you be my girlfriend?" Maybe that was April, but we were dating and seeing each other.
That's fair. Yeah, we were together since February. Okay, that's fair.
Well, I go up, so as a guy, I have to say I have to back Steve on this one because if you start with the first date itself, like the day you went out on a date, that's dating.
Okay, that was first part of February.
That's dating. That's dating.
Okay.
Now being serious is a different story. That
that
may happen like April where you're looking at, but he's right.
Okay, that's fair. That is fair.
I'm not going to gang up on you the entire time. I promise.
That's okay. Yeah, so we started dating in February, April. I can't say it.
Between February and April, dating was happening. Got it.
Yeah, and then my kids actually encouraged me to sign up for the Beast Games. It was my kids, my teenage boys. And
okay, I hear something in the voice. Where are you from originally?
Virginia.
That's what I thought. Okay. I'm a Southern boy, so I'm like, oh, I hear something there. Sorry. I had to point that out. Steve, are you from Washington, or where are you from?
Technically I'm from California, but I spent most of my life in Washington.
Okay. So, but then you guys were, when you started dating, you were in the same state.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. I'm just trying to piece things together in my brain. So
yes, that's right.
And then so You dated on and off till April, and then so
We dated straight through till April.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was no, yeah, we were together.
Okay, you were together.
We were pretty sold.
Concession. Yeah. So straight through till April. April comes around. Then what? Then where do we go from there?
Yeah. Then I think it was May actually that I saw the application, you know, they were casting for the Beast Games, and I told my kids, hey, I kind of want to do this. Or, oh, do you? And they're like, we want to do it. And I'm like, well, you can't. And they're like, well, you should do it. I was like, okay. So I applied. I got in. Like the next day they called me, the casting people. And Steve was with me, and we were at actually a fundraiser, like a car wash for Boy Scouts. Yeah. And I'm on the phone with the casting producer, you know, asking me, are you afraid to be buried alive? You know, all those questions that we got asked. And I said, Steve, you need to apply. And so he did, like right then and there in the parking lot of this car wash for Boy Scouts at Jiffy Lube.
She videotaped
and I videotaped him right there. And then so he ended up getting in a couple, I think it took him another month or so.
They called me the next day, but I didn't hear anything else for like a few weeks. And so I was like, maybe they didn't take it, but
yeah.
Okay.
So he got hooked in, and then we started prepping for Vegas, which was in July and August. Well, July.
Yeah.
So you're dating, and then all of a sudden, like, let's do Mr. Beast thing that goes.
Yeah.
On, and then you get the call. He gets the call, and then essentially you guys just when the call actually comes to, or they say go, you guys basically just bolt and go. So someone's watching the kids.
Oh yeah, that was an ordeal. We had to get everything lined up, the dogs, the cat, all the things, just like everybody. Our jobs. I mean, we work.
Kids taken care of.
Yeah.
A lot to shuffle. So it was a lot.
It was a lot to shuffle.
We felt like it was a big opportunity to do something awesome and fun together. And so it's worth the work, you know?
What an amazing place to actually continue to date and to know each other.
Yeah.
And honestly, going to Vegas, which was an experience in itself. Now, I have a different opinion of Vegas than a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have bad memories of Vegas.
I liked Vegas.
See, my take on Vegas was simple. When I walked into they had me staying at the Luxor. So I walked into the Luxor, got in a long line, waited for, to go to, check everything in your bags and your medication and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of sizing up the competition just to see what's there. And I'm looking around and I see all these kids, and literally I'll say kids, they're young, they're young adults. And I see like 4 or 5 of them holding on to their little teddy bears and their security blankets. I'm going, wow, what did I get myself into?
Oh, that's funny.
And those are the ones that struggled a lot, which was fine. That's a good thing. So, okay, anyway. So did they have you guys at the same hotel, separate hotel? How did that work for you? Because
they actually put us in the same hotel, and as we were checking in, we just said, hey, can we share a room? And they let us. So
good.
We just got to stay together the whole time, especially since we were locked down those first few days doing nothing.
So you guys actually had company with each other
we didn't have to be alone the whole time. It was great.
I took like several big baths, and
yeah.
It's like, what do I do? Okay. Then we get the call to go to the actual game. Walk me through that. You guys just walk through all the whole thing. Tell me your thoughts, everything that goes on. What your strategy is, because you guys had to have had a strategy.
We kind of were like trying to decide, do we want to stick together through the games, or do we want to separate and make our odds better so that like we don't both get eliminated at once?
Okay.
But it kept seeming to work out that we were just together through each of the challenges, and it worked for us. We didn't get separated. We didn't get eliminated.
Okay.
But she was more like, I don't want to be in your group. I don't want to like go out trying to save you. I don't want to like have to drag you along. And I'm just like, come on.
Because I felt like if like, one of the first challenges, it was a huge group event. And I thought, man, we're either both going down or we're both going out or staying in.
So what color were you guys?
Orange.
So you both were on orange. Okay. Yeah. See, I was green. So we had pink. Pink went first. Well, so the first
orange was first.
Yeah. So I was just thinking we got pink on the far right, and going down. Okay,
pink,
so
orange, green, red.
yeah,
Something like
yeah,
that.
Yellow,
red.
red.
Yellow
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, we don't care about red. Red just disappeared at the beginning.
Oh, poor red.
They got so screwed. That was
Well, I had a friend of mine on red, and he ended up going to Toronto because he got the call back. So I'm like, really?
oh nice.
You didn't even have to work for it.
Nice.
Okay, so you guys were on the same team. So what was the strategy when it came to the first competition? Did you discuss things? How would that work? Because the first um, thing that we did was the 10,000 pounds.
Hmm.
We're
Yes.
in a group.
Yeah, the group strategy was mostly to move all the bigger, stronger individuals, the men mostly, to the front of the line
Okay.
and basically put your heat up front, and farther back you go, the less physical. So
Right.
So we did separate because obviously we're different in that way. So yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
was
mean,
in the first 30 feet and she was in the middle.
Yeah.
that's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Mhm. But we did say, like, when before the challenge even started, you know how we were interviewed and not even know, we didn't even know we were being interviewed with the guys in all the black, right?
Right.
Like in the very beginning, we were sitting there eating, I think, our first meal together on the
Our
floor,
boiled egg and
our boiled
vegetables.
egg and our oatmeal, which was delicious, by the way, 'cause I was hungry.
It was awful.
And this guy comes up and starts talking to us, like right up in our face, and he's
We were
asking,
sitting on the floor up in the, what do you call that?
Yeah,
The
the little
breezeway.
yeah, and he was asking us, are you guys a couple? And at first I wanted to just deny, because I thought that would be a bad thing, that they might put us against each other. And so, but we, from the very beginning, we just fessed up and we're like, yes, we're a couple. And and he's like, so who's gonna take out who first? And Steve is like, oh, she'll totally take me down, like no remorse whatsoever. And
No.
I
she'll just-
said, I'm here to make sure she goes on. If I can sacrifice
Yeah.
myself, I will in a heartbeat.
yeah,
You're a smart man. You're literally doing what I would have done with my wife. I mean,
yeah,
That was my purpose there, to try to get her to go further.
yeah.
Well, I
So
mean-
it was really fun.
I was thinking, if there's an opportunity for me to team up with some really good players and then sabotage all of us so she could go on, I was going to do it. Like that was my angle, just to make her go further.
need to make notes for season 2.
Yeah,
Not
right.
get on the team with Steve.
Do not get on Steve's. That was only for her. If it's just me there, I'm in there to win it. So
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Would you guys go back to for season 2 together?
I would. Yeah.
sure.
Okay. I know that's probably getting way ahead of myself on that one, but okay. So go back to Vegas. They're getting interviewed. You fessed up that you are a couple.
Mhm.
Were they shocked at all? Was that something that they were just?
I don't think so. But after that, I wouldn't say followed us around, but we ended up eventually getting those bands where they would interview us a little bit more often than most. And
Were you mic'd up a little bit?
we got,
I did not get mic'd.
I don't think we got mic'd up. No, but we had some color band on. I can't remember, that was different.
They said it was just so that they would pay attention to us or something.
No, yeah, it's just flagging people, and because they're using for sound bites and things like that. So, okay,
Yeah.
so the food, you had your first meal in Vegas. How was that for you guys? What were your thoughts on the food?
I was so hungry, I didn't care.
I hated the quinoa. It was really rough for me,
Yep,
but I
I
ate
agree.
it all.
I ate everything, every last morsel. I didn't care
did
what it
too.
was.
I didn't waste anything because I was
Even the salt and pepper, we're just saving it all.
Well, so the salt was essential, and this is what I think that So there, with all the complaints that I read online about Vegas and these games and all that stuff, most of it is literally self-induced issues versus one thing I read was and I actually saw too, the one kid that had a seizure.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding, he never disclosed that he had epilepsy.
Oh man.
Again, that's on him. And then when it came to the food, so I know I took it myself when we first walked into the stadium in Vegas, and you had Klitz get up there, and he says, literally everything in this building is part of the game. He said that. I'm like, okay, I get it. So the food rolling out and people complaining about the food, I'm like, it's not that bad. You guys have just been catered to and babied all your life.
Yeah.
And I saw it as part of the game. Like
Same.
this isn't the best meals, but that's to get in your head. That's to wear you down. That's to make you want to quit.
Well,
Thank you,
that's
Liz.
exactly right. Well, I mean, I know what's his, he was on another one of Mr. Beast's videos, number 40 or 40, whatever it is.
43.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm not going to eat this food anymore. And he just left. I mean, that's what it was for. It was to force people to leave. So, okay. So first game's down. We go from the first game to this next game. Let me pull this up. I got a list of them all.
Next game is the cases, right?
Yeah, we went straight to the cases next. So, what was the strategy for that? Because there was this X amount, they were bad, and X amount were good.
Yeah, so I remember we decided that we were gonna run as far as we could because we were both fast. So we weren't gonna try to go for like the up close cases. We were gonna go on the far back corner, but separate, be separate. I mean, that's what I remember us doing. Yeah.
Okay.
We wanted to get as far around as we could so there would be less crowding around it. And then basically not stay in the corner, but not stay in the center, kind of give yourself two directions of options. And so before that, we had decided, so when they popped up the map on the screen, we knew what area to memorize. So we only had to look in that quadrant right there and know, there's this many spots, don't get those ones. And it was pretty easy to know which was which.
Yeah.
And for me, when I got over there, I was not against people that were going to be very fast or difficult to beat. And so I told them which one I was going for, just because I knew they wouldn't fight me for it. So,
which is fair, honestly.
Yeah, I said, I'm going for this one. And obviously, if you try to beat me, you're going to lose. So, and not to be cocky, but they just weren't going to be as fast as me.
But there is an athleticism about both you guys that you knew you had a one up on everybody around certain areas, and that's just reality.
Yeah. So we all kind of called the ones we were going to grab, and we got them. Tiffany, though, she's got kind of a bum knee.
Oh.
And she kind of got banged up running to her box, and she was a few rows away from me, and I saw her holding her leg and kind of limping. It freaked me out. I thought she was really hurt.
Yeah.
And so I called whoever they were, camera person that was right there. And I was like, hey, my girlfriend's over here. You need to go check on her. She's hurt. And rather than get help, they sent somebody over there to put a camera in her face and say, what's going on?
Like, can I get a little bit of ice here? And how's my angle? Like,
not this side. This side. This is
this is my good side. But I need an ice pack.
So did you actually hurt your knee, or go?
I mean, I didn't go to the doctor after that, but it hurt bad. It swelled up a little bit. We got some ice, we got some Motrin, and we just chopped it up.
During one of the competitions, or was it just something that just?
I don't know. I think it tweaked it. Like I stopped really hard. I planted my foot, and I think my body went one way, my knee went the other, and it's weak. Okay. And it just didn't feel right. But that got in my head for the rest of the competition, unfortunately.
And it ended up really hurting you later.
It did. Yeah, we can get to that part, but I ended up actually really hurting it in Canada.
Okay. So during was there any time in say just Vegas itself, before we get to do the other competitions, did you guys have any spats or anything like that, or just kind of not really? No. So you're literally straight out supportive. Look at that.
It was so great. This was our first, I think, trip for an extended period of time where we were just one-on-one. And I always heard that when you're dating somebody, if you really want to see if it's going to work out, you need to go somewhere out of your comfort zone, somewhere different, and see how you get along then. And we didn't argue at all. He rubbed my feet when we had downtime. Even 4 days in, he rubbed my feet when we didn't have showers.
Like dogs. I was over there rubbing them.
Like, we just got along. I don't know.
It was nice to have somebody in a sleeping bag on the ground next to you to cuddle with.
We stayed warm, like on those cold nights where we had to sleep on the hard floor or whatever day it was. I don't know.
On all that hill.
We spooned up with no shame. We're like, we're a couple. Like,
I have no problem. Well, then so you guys were not the ones that were eliminated for doing other things.
Heck no.
No.
I barely let him show me like physical affection. I was like, don't touch me.
Like, don't touch.
Like, don't make it weird.
Or Steve.
Yeah, he survived.
It's okay. He got over
So, clearly he got over it.
Well, obviously, we haven't gotten to the good part yet either. That's the whole thing. So, okay, so we go from there. We go from the cases, and then we go from what cases to the flag, isn't it?
The flag.
Now,
Oh,
that was
And you got a screwed up knee at this time.
and I'm freaking out because I know I can't do sudden quick movements. Like I'm going to crash. And so I'm in my head the whole time.
Okay.
And I was the opposite. Like right at the beginning, I went right down to the front. I think I was on like the second or third run.
Okay.
And basically same thing as the boxes. I looked at everybody beside me and I said, I'm going for flag 177. If you want to beat me or try, go ahead. And I ran straight to my box. Nobody attempted it. It was like easy, bam, over.
Well, and you did the total polar opposite of what I did. I was trying to do the law of numbers, hoping that more people would jump out. My original number was 1056.
See, we
You
might
were-
have been in the same
You
heat.
were 1057, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it was the very last run.
No, that was me
Yeah.
Very
too.
last run.
Oh, high five. That was me. Yeah.
And I was trying to do the law of numbers. I'm like, okay, I know I'm not the fastest guy out there. I just got to
Mhm.
outrun other people. And then, of course, when they did the false start, which was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
35, 40 people were eliminated just because he said, yo, like, you're supposed to listen for the horn, idiots.
Yeah.
So I got across real early and I see her across the way and I am like freaking out the whole time. This is
It was a long
game.
time.
And I'm just like, every run, I'm like, why aren't you going? I'm screaming at her across the way the whole time. There's a camera like right here on me. And I'm just like, baby, you can do it.
Mhm.
And there was a camera over there at her, and she looks like she's, dragging her foot like a bull. She's like ready to go. And every round she just wouldn't do it.
And it was because I would get up there and then I'd be standing next to 6 foot tall, gazelle over here. I'm like, I can't.
If we were facing Jimmy, were you on the left side or the right side?
I was more to the left.
Okay, so
Yeah, we were on the left.
Okay, I was on the right side. So so you went last heat, but on the left side. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, got it. Because the reason I asked that because that mattered because of the number of people that were on each side. It was a little bit off kilter.
Mm.
Okay, got it. Okay,
Yeah.
She had a dead heat against 2 other girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to basically all 3 race for 1 flag.
Yeah.
So how's your knee feeling before? At that point?
I honest to goodness, at that point, I was just praying to mount me on wings like eagles because I can't run. Yes.
Adrenaline's just pumping at
I'm
that point.
serious. I'm like, if I have to crash, I'm going to crash taking that flag down because I don't know what else to do. So I just took off running and it worked out.
Okay, good. So you got your
And then
flag.
She got her flag and she came right over to me and we like did the whole
Oh my gosh.
hugging and so
Yeah.
happy. And because I thought she was going to get out. I was like, she waited to the last second. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh man.
I understand her fear because I was doing a lot of numbers and I'm like, cool. Even then when I went, I'm like, crap, there's not enough runs. There's 2
Yeah.
people. I'm screwed. So
Yeah. Yeah. And in my head, I was really in my head at that point. And normally I'm I'm an athlete and it's not normal. And I just remember hearing my son before I left, he gave us both advice. And one of them said, don't be a baby. And that's all I could hear him saying is, Mom, don't be a baby. And I'm like, I'm being a baby right now. Like I got to figure it out.
well,
What did he say about me?
He's like, oh, he'll be fine.
He said, you just do you, you're good.
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah.
Steve, you got this. No big deal.
No, yeah. Mine were like, Mom, don't be a baby and don't worry about us. We're fine. I'm like, okay.
But that's encouraging though. The fact that your kids
Yeah.
are like, you got this, Mom. Don't
Yeah.
just do it. Just do it. I mean,
Yeah.
how amazing is that? You guys must be raising some great kids. All I can say.
They're pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
So how many kids do you guys have together?
6.
4 or 5, 6. Yeah, I had to count. I have 2.
You get okay. Woo, age wise for all of them.
So my oldest is 21.
And then I have a 16 and a 13. No, 14. 16 and 14.
Then I have a 9, an 8, and a 5.
Yep.
Hats off to you guys. Again, I'm on the tail end of ours. My wife and I, wow. Awesome. That's awesome. So all the kids are cheering you guys on at this point. they don't know what's going on, but they told you just get this crap done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Don't be a baby. Don't be a baby.
Don't be a baby. Yeah. Don't be a baby.
So then we go from what am I missing? I think I'm missing something. We got boulders, we had flags, cases. Then we go. I guess the platforms was last, wasn't it? That was
platforms was last.
So were you guys on the same platform? Did y'all do that, or did you separate?
No,
we
stayed
did
together.
Yeah, we had a little. We didn't have a conflict, but we had differing opinions at first. I was like, the odds are better if we separate.
Right.
They are. And I would rather one of us go on than both of us go home. And that's all that to me, like that's my strategy. And remember that statement because that comes into episode 3.
Okay.
It's better if one of us stays than both of us go home. That's
Right.
just, I think that's smart. But yeah, but he convinced me that we were going to stay together. And I don't even know why I gave in, but I did. I trust him.
Which platform were you on?
If she wasn't going to go on, I didn't want to go on without her either. Like,
that makes sense. I mean, you went there to hang out with her. And I mean, you went to go do this awesome thing. But then you also went there to hang out with her because I mean you're like, hey, this is you like this chick. You're like, hey, I want this to happen. I mean, am I wrong on that thinking? I mean,
well, we've been inseparable since we started dating, pretty much straight through. Like I went there to be with her and do something fun together. And honestly, I don't know if I would have been super excited to finish it out without her. No, it was something we did together.
Okay.
I was much happier to go home first than the other way around. That's for sure.
Okay, I can see that. All right, so you're on the same platform. Which platform were you guys on? If you're looking at again, Mr. Beast, where the big, I guess
if you go to the left of Mr. Beast, and then back one. So
yeah, we were the second one from the back.
So you were that corner,
like middle left,
one up from the corner.
Were you on my platform?
I don't think so. We had several people that were wanting to jump ship.
So look, if there's Mr. Beast right here,
yeah, you had one
there were
next
platforms.
Then there's one in the corner. Then there's one over from the corner. So
yeah, that was us.
So you were on my platform.
No, we were up, not in between the platform and the corner. We were more towards the front, like one up to the front.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How did I not see you guys?
I don't know.
I don't know if we were on the same platform because you would have seen me. I was telling everybody that if they got up, I was going to pull them back by their hair.
Okay. Because I know we had one guy. He's like, I'm jumping
for the million, right?
No.
Oh.
50,000
for the 50K.
Oh, I don't remember that.
That was the guy that was in the back saying he was talking about getting off.
That was the guy that was going for the million. He said because he's
I knew 3 people that were going to jump off for the million, but the million would have been a total free for all. There would have been so many people jumping.
Yeah.
They would have had to go to the footage and see who would have done it. That's why I think we were very lucky that girl Superman off her platform.
Yeah.
I was literally making everybody sit down.
Oh yeah.
I was like, if you move, I'm gonna grab you. You're not going off this platform.
Where I was on the front of the platform and I sat down. I was blocking. Me and a bunch of other people. We did the perimeter of sitting down blocking. That's what we did.
Yeah,
that was what we were doing.
Okay, and then and then I had a buddy of mine. He was back there. He says, "Devin, stand up." So I stood up. He goes, "This dude's about to go." I said, "Okay,
yeah.
All we have to do is just slow him down so someone else would go before him." I said, "We can't hold him technically. We can slow his descent to get off."
Yeah.
And, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we were on this. I think we were on the
same platform.
Yeah.
Well,
I just think we didn't know each other yet.
No,
I think that
didn't.
was it. Because I didn't really know you until after Steve left in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I feel bad for that but there's so many people. That's the whole thing. We started off with 2,000 people. Got to the platforms and that eliminated everybody till we got to 1,000. So that game, the Beast game's the official 1,000 people for the episodes. So now we fast forward to going into Toronto. We go into we end up going into Toronto. We start off with 1,000 people, and you guys are lined up. So Steve, you're what you said 170.
177.
So you're second row over. And Tiffany, which row were you on again?
I was the very first row after the runway.
Yeah, she was opposite the catwalk from me. So one row right alongside the catwalk.
Okay.
Right along the catwalk in front of the 5 million.
Okay, so you were on.
I think she was about 8 rows deep from the stage. from the end stage where everything went on with the
No, I was like second from the back.
Okay.
I was pretty far back, but not in this back half.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got an idea where you guys are. Okay, so first competition here. We've got
It's the best.
were y'all stressing during the competition?
No, because I wasn't going to be bribed for anything. I
was going there to be bribed.
Yeah,
So
we had different opinions on that.
So you were going for cash and you're just waiting to figure out how
I only had a week from work to deal with, like a week and a half. And so my goal was to get out.
Okay, so here, walk me through Toronto then. So we're all on their platforms. So because you had what we're about to get to, did that happen during the first say after the first competition, or was it a little bit later?
It was right after the first competition.
Okay, so walk me through it. Both you guys are on your platforms. Tell me everything. Go from there.
Yeah. You want me to do it, or you want to do it?
I can do it.
No, yeah, you go.
So I'm near to the front on the second row. And he comes out with this, we're going to start this game off with a bribe. And basically he said, here's the money. Anybody who wants it can take it and go home, but you got to split it, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, well, this is my ticket because I'm here to get paid and get out of here.
You're running out of time.
Yeah, I mean, I've only got a few days and I don't know what the next opportunity is going to be. I knew I wasn't going to make it to the end. So as soon as the timer started, it went maybe 10 seconds and nobody punched the button. And so I just reached out and smashed it. And so I was the first one to hit the button.
So you were the first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
And so they brought me up on stage, and who was it that was up there with me? It wasn't Jimmy. It was
Nolan or Carl or one of those guys.
One of them. But he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, you're a millionaire right now. What you gonna do?" And there was $1 million piled up on the stage right there.
Yeah.
And I just laid down, started doing snow angels in it, started throwing money in the air and being silly in front of the camera, telling everybody they don't need to take the money. There's enough rounds coming for them to get paid. I was like, I got this. And I ended up getting to be on stage for several minutes before anybody else joined me.
Right.
Just being goofy for the camera the whole time. And then the people started trickling in.
Yep.
And it goes from 1 million to 500,000, then 300, and it just starts whittling down. And towards the end, I mean, it was still quite a bit of money in that last minute. I think we were still near 100,000.
You were like 77.
Well, the time ran out. We were at 77.
Yeah.
The time ran out and they said, you just won $77,000. And then the time like reset with a new number because 30 people punched the number
at the same time. Yeah.
Second.
Yeah.
And so
it was like 52 people. 52 people took the money.
Wow.
Dropped us down to like 19,000 and change.
Yeah. Which is not a bad payday.
It's not a bad payday.
Yeah.
I mean, would have been better to have 77, but
would have been better to have the $1 million, but I get it.
Yeah, I didn't see that happen.
No.
So that was really exciting. So I'm up on stage and everybody's celebrating, and I know that
they're about to walk you out at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, they did a group photo thing. Yeah.
They did a whole lot of like filming. We were up there for quite a while.
Right.
But as we're up there, it dawns on me that I'm going to be taking off. And it had occurred to me to propose on the show, and not really knowing an opportunity, I was like, this is it. I've either got to do it now or I'm not going to get a chance.
That's correct.
And I'm not going to see her again because I'm leaving.
Right.
And so Jimmy was right there. And I just said, hey, Jimmy. And he's like, what's up, man? I was like, I want to propose to my girlfriend, and she's here in the show. She's right here in the middle, just down a ways. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, I really want to do it. And I said, if it doesn't look good on video, don't use it. And he was like, okay, let's do it. And so he takes me over and they start miking me up again. And I'm freaking out because I don't even have a ring. I'm not prepared for this. And
so this was spur of the moment. Was this
spur of the moment?
You had a thought about it, but you didn't really. It was just
like a fleeting, like that would be really cool if I could do that. You know what I mean?
Well, but hold on to when we were in Vegas, this will button it up. When we were in Vegas, we got interviewed and they kept saying something. He kept saying like, I'm going to propose to her on the show. And I even said to the cameras in Vegas, I said, there is no way. He doesn't even have a ring. He's not going to do that.
Yeah.
In Vegas.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
So we're there and I don't have a ring. So I start running around to all the people up on stage with me. And I'm like, I need a ring. I need an engagement ring. Like I went through and this one lady had a really nice ring on it. She's like, here, use this. And she gave it to me. And so Jimmy gets me all mic'd up. Tiffany's down there. She has no idea what's going on, but I'm on the big screen while they're doing all this stuff. And Jimmy's like, put that away there. You're on the camera. So I'm like putting it in my pocket. And they do this walkout. It looks like I'm walking out to an MMA fight. The camera's in front of me, backing up, and I'm walking down the runway towards her. And it's so slow because the camera's moving slow.
I hope they do slow motion. I hope they put some amazing music during that point.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just walking down the aisle towards her, and I get there, and this whole portion of me is very blurred because it was so stressful. But like, I get down on my knee. I think I said, I love you. Would you marry me? Tried to put the ring on the wrong hand, and then she sorted me out. And she says, yes.
Does.
Jimmy's right here. Everybody's watching. People are losing their minds. It was great. And I get up, and as I'm hugging her and I tell her I love her, I say in her ear, I said, that's not my ring. I need it back. So as I'm walking away, I'm holding her hand, and I just slipped it off her finger and kept walking and gave it back to the lady back on the stage. So
all right,
I feel like that was pretty smooth. I mean,
I think it was pretty amazing. All right, Tiffany, what are you thinking? So you see him up there and you don't know what's going on. So
no. So I did not at all. I see him up there, but I will say, like, my spidey senses like perked up a little bit when they were like zooming in on him just on the screen when they were like getting everybody to go off the stage. I'm like, and of course I'm looking on the big screen, like, why are they zoomed in on Steve? And I noticed him going like this. Oh. And he was fiddling with something. And my heart stopped. And I was around Vicky, the Australian lady. She was my neighbor. And Emily from Hawaii was my neighbor. And I was like, I think he's going to propose. I kid you not, next thing I know, this camera crew surrounds my box and they are in my face. And I'm like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Why are you filming me? What do you want? Like, and then next thing I know, here he comes doing that strut coming down the aisle. And I thought, oh my, I think I just kept putting my hands in my face in my hands. I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening right now. It happened so fast.
Yeah, it was a surprise to both of us.
Oh, yeah.
I was just as shocked as she was.
Well, and people actually thought we were already married. We found out because when we were in Canada, people all the time would say, oh, is that your wife? And we just never corrected them.
Well, you're a beautiful couple, so why not? I mean, that's really what that's saying.
And it's like, hey, whatever. So we definitely, for the record, we're not engaged. Are not married. None of that. So
he proposed.
Just kind of played it off with whatever people wanted to think. It was like, sure.
You obviously said yes.
Yes, I did. I said yes.
Was it yes with, oh crap, I feel guilty now, I have to say yes? Or was it like,
oh, of course. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, of course I have to say yes.
That's why I asked her in front of the world.
He knows I won't say no and embarrass him like that. Come on.
How many millions of people have the potential to see this? Because we don't know if they're going to show this clip or not.
We have no idea. No idea.
I feel like they will, though.
I hope they do. Okay, so you proposed. You're there going, oh my gosh, now I'm getting married. You don't have a date, obviously. That's to be determined, which is fine. I mean, you are a blended family. That's going to take some time.
Here's the way I look at it. It's not a rush to get married, but what better opportunity to tell the world that I love her and that I want to marry her. I mean, I didn't want to miss an opportunity to propose in a way that would be so memorable and awesome. And
I agree.
I took the chance because I didn't want to miss it, and I love her, and I wanted the whole world to know about it, basically. So
if you don't marry him, I'm going to marry him. No.
Okay.
No, seriously, that is awesome. So that's all done. So did you get both of you guys walk back to the little stage area, or
I had to stay put. I was strapped to my platform.
We didn't see each other again after that.
So
Oh, yes, we did.
Oh, we did back at the hotel.
Yeah, because thankfully that was one of the nights where we all got to go back to the hotel and sleep in our own beds. And thankfully he had to go back to the hotel, so we were able to see each other. And I waited for him in the lobby. And when he walked through at whatever time, it was late,
like
when he got
1:00 in the morning. It was
because he had to like out process and turn in his uniform and set up travel, all that stuff.
He wasn't sleeping, I can tell you that.
No, and it just was. I was like,
who were you sitting with? You were sitting with somebody in the lobby waiting for me.
Yeah, I was just at one of the girls in the lobby, just waiting for you to get there. And then we got to talk about it. I'm like, so okay, now what? What are we doing now?
So how'd that conversation go? So you guys see each other, you're talking. What went through your heads? Because I mean, essentially, there's a ton of emotions, there's tons of feelings, tons of thoughts.
Oh my gosh, it was a lot. It was overwhelming. I don't think it really sunk into way later, but I'm just like, I think I just asked. I'm like, so when are we getting married? Like, are we he was like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, because I thought like, oh my gosh, this is happening so fast. Like, what's going on? And it was like, no, we're engaged. I'm like, okay. I'm like, give me some oxygen here.
He cares about what you feel and how your thoughts are. The dude's a good guy. Holy crap.
I know. Yeah, he did pretty good.
I would say, well, they say, my dad always said this growing up. He says a guy chases a woman until she catches him. You caught it. Yeah. You caught a good one.
That's right.
So how much time did you have together before he ships off?
Like the next morning, I got on a bus to go to the next challenge, and that's when I left him.
And I ended up getting stuck there for another whole day.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They lost my stuff, like my personal belongings, and so they were trying to track it down all day. I ended up being back at the filming set, which is weird because it should have never gone that way. But by the time they got it back, and I was like, I got the rest of the week off. I was like, I still have 5 days before I got to be back to work and kids are handled. I asked him, I said, hey, rather than sending me home, how about you send me to Hawaii instead?
Oh.
And so they did, because I had to hang around for a day. And so for the inconvenience, they just switched it to Kona. I took a long flight from Toronto to Hawaii.
That's a long flight.
5 days. I spent 5 days fishing on the beach, just catching fish and having food and drinks and celebrating my new engagement. And
I'm about to say, you're on a high already. You got the beautiful lady already said yes. That you're like, well, I'm just going to hit the beach because you can't make this any better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I get a message later that next night from one of the wranglers, and she says, hey, are you Tiffany? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I just want to let you know, Steve wants me to tell you, if you get out today or tomorrow or the next day, don't go to Seattle, go to Hawaii. I was like, okay.
Definitely wouldn't suck. Okay.
No, okay. But I didn't get to go to Hawaii. That's okay.
Well, she actually came home the day after I did. Mm-hmm. So I got back, and then I was driving to her house, and I got a call from her on the phone right before I got there saying she was out and she was heading home the next day. Yeah. So I got a vacation, and she got to do a couple episodes, and we got back together at the same time.
Oh, see, that's a beautiful thing. Okay, so Tiffany, you're still in the game.
Mm-hmm.
That means you were there for the self-sacrifice where the rows just destroyed each other.
Yep.
Like that one row just killed itself off because it was too stubborn. Mm-hmm. That's really what it was. They were too stubborn. You were there, and you got to see everybody drop through the platforms.
Mm-hmm.
You got to see the
more bribes.
You had to build the little tower.
Yeah.
How hard was that for you?
Not hard, actually. Okay. That was one of my favorite ones. I love that.
You were like the best at that, right?
That was pretty good. Like that stayed up for hours after it was over, and Mac had to come by and like tackle it down.
Yeah, I had the same. Mine stayed up forever.
Yeah. I think it's just because we have kids and we build. I'm a Sunday school teacher, and like I have the nursery, like these building blocks. It's like we got it down.
I mean, that's people like, how is your stand up? I'm like, I got 5 kids.
Exactly.
Literally
Yeah.
how this works.
Legos are my best friend at one point.
Amen to that one.
Yeah.
So you did the building blocks. Then
Mhm.
we go to what's next? I'm trying to go through my list right here.
Oh boy.
More bribes.
Mhm.
Dodgeball part that didn't happen. Obviously, with that, then we, yeah. So then more bribes, and then essentially we got down to where it was only basically 500 of us, 495 or something like that, I think, that went to the city. So
Mhm.
you walk into the city. You don't have
Mhm.
Steve.
I know.
Who's your
I
go-to?
felt really lonely. Oh boy, my go-to?
Because everybody had to end up getting a friend or two there.
Yeah, I would say Vicky was one of my good friends from Australia.
Okay.
And Micah was in my bunk area. Micah, but they were the only ones that were kind of close by. Oh, and a sweet little girl named Brooke.
Okay.
And then Emma was on my row for the bride, one of the brides on episode 1.
Okay.
And I think she actually went pretty far. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But
I know how far she went.
yeah.
I know who won this thing, by the way, but I can't talk about it.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So I mean, I would say I kind of bounced among those 4 girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Emma's a sweetheart. She's amazing.
Oh my gosh, they all were. Yeah.
I mean, so my take on the game overall, you could not have had some of they actually got some of the best people for this, because normally you look at some of these reality shows and some of these people are such big backstabbers and things like that.
Yeah.
Crazy, where it seems like we during this whole I'd say this whole season of Beast Games, we kind of stuck with each other and helped each other out for the most part.
And I think he was surprised at that. He kept trying to give us money and we wouldn't take it.
Well, I mean,
he's just like, what are you guys doing?
Right. Well, that's exactly right. So we get to the city. We go to we got the tokens. So what did you end up doing in the inside? Once
I was on the catch one.
Oh,
so where the balls drop from the ceiling. Yeah.
You were on that top floor waiting. Oh wow.
Yeah, which that was actually the perfect for me. I was a softball player and I like to catch and throw, and that was a good one for me. I wouldn't have picked any of the other ones.
So what color? What color? Well, no, that's right. So you're up there. So you were obviously. So you're with some of my friends, because your team essentially thought you lost first.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We thought we lost. It was very, very dramatic.
So what's going through your head during that?
I was really sad and mad, and then through all the grief stages.
Yeah, you go through every cycle.
I really did. And then I had acceptance, and then I found out we were going back, and then I cried again, and I'm just like, I'm a hot mess. Like, if they just watch me alone, they got content. Like, it was awful.
Well, they got over 100 years worth of content, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard that, but
I did that. That's wild.
It's just insane.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all end up winning that one. Then we go from there to, what did we do? Or it took a couple of days to do all of them.
It did. I think we might have had a day off the next day. Yeah, we did with the ball drop.
Were you there for the dance party?
So that's the day I hurt my knee the second go round. Yeah. Okay. And I was not able to dance.
Tell me about that one. How'd that happen?
It's not even that exciting. It was my day off I didn't have anything to do because we were really behind with the tower, because we took so long, I think, and whatever. And so I decided to go shoot basketball, just go shoot some hoops. And I was over there, and there was a pickup game going on of knockout, where you shoot from the free throw line and you try to get the person up, and we're just rolling through that. It's, I don't know, probably 10, 12 people. And literally it gets down and I'm like in the final 2 because, I'm a little competitive, and I'm shooting. And I actually don't even remember if I won. I don't think I did. I might have won. I don't know. But I went to rebound my ball and I just planted my knee and it went the other way. And I hit the ground so hard. It hurt more than I have ever felt it hurt. Nobody hit me. Some sweet guy, I don't even know who it was, just picked me up and carried me to a chair. And then the medic came over and that was that. So it was hurting real bad after that.
So when did you
tell him what's the ultimate?
I fully tore my ACL and have to have surgery in January.
Seriously?
For real. I couldn't believe it. They asked me if I wanted to go get it imaged at the tent, at the medic bus, whatever it was. And I was like, well, what does that mean? Am I out? I'm like, because if that's the case, then no, I'll figure it out. I'll drag it along behind me. And so I just like, no, I'll be fine. It hurts so bad. And the very next thing we had to do was that darn potato sack race.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awful. That was awful. I don't know how I did it. I have no idea how I did it, but I did it.
You're probably catering to one leg during the whole thing.
Absolutely. I was pretty much jumping on one leg. It hurt so bad.
So you did the potato sack race, and
Yeah.
then you get handcuffed to two other people.
Oh gosh, that's kind of triggering. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a rough day.
How did that go? Because I've
Not
heard
great.
every story there is about the cubes. Because I can tell you that was the most mentally draining competition we ever had.
Have you heard her story about the cube?
I have
from
not.
someone else?
I haven't.
Not
It was
from-
rough. It was really rough. So
Tell us
when
about
they,
everything.
so when they tripled us up at that, I just looked around to, when they said, hey, pair up with two people. And I turned around and there's a sweet couple standing there. Daniel and, oh my gosh, Praise. Is that her name? I might be mistaken. I might be not seeing
Just
her.
the married couple?
Yeah, the married couple.
You were with the married couple?
I was with the married couple. And I said, you guys want to be a team? And they're like, sure. I was like, okay. I honestly had no strategy thinking about who I was going to partner with. I didn't even know what we were doing.
Well, we were, the first game was like, oh, we're just going to not going to eliminate anybody. So we're like, oh, he took us off guard on purpose.
Yeah. So and I don't know if I would have had a strategy anyway, just because I wasn't super, super close with anybody else now that Steve left. So, anyway, so we were tripled up. And then when I realized, when we were told what the competition was going to be for the cube, I was like in my head thinking, this is really good. This is really good. Because there's no way they're going to let the other one go home. Like somebody's going to sacrifice and it's not going to be me. I kid you not. And I did. I had that attitude. That was my card. That was my.
You would think if I was there with you, I would have jumped ship to let you stay. You
So
would
I
think
basically
as a
decided,
couple, they would do the same thing.
I literally decided in the city on the grass before I even made it to the bus. That's my strategy. It didn't matter what we did or talked about. I wasn't going to go home because I knew one of them would fold and leave.
So you get in the cubes.
Yeah.
You get there and you're talking to each other, getting to know each other.
And we're having
Pick
a great
up the
time.
phone. You get to order something. Did you everybody order something different? Did you get the stuff? Because I know they're
We
really
did. We got several things. We ordered some food. The food didn't come. We ordered a puppy. That came. That was fun. We ordered a massage therapist. She came. That was fun. We ordered a deck of cards. That came. I think that was it. I might be I'm pretty sure that was it but we were pretty happy. And so we sat there and played cards pretty much the whole time. And in the
5 hours inside the thing, right?
I was just going to say in that 5 hours, I mean, I would say maybe about once an hour up until the last hour, we tiptoed around like, do you want to play a game? And that wasn't my suggestion. They would say, do you want to play a game? Do you have any ideas? And I would bring up, I kind of feel like there's two of you and you're from the same house and,
At least one of you guys can move forward.
I think one of you guys should go home. That's my opinion. I was like, well, we'll see. And we just really were so passive about it until like the 5th hour. And then it got hot, real hot.
If it was my wife and I, we would have done the same thing. Like, okay, hey, babe, we've made it this far. I'm going to bow out. It's all you. And I would have just, locked myself to the wall.
Yeah.
That's what I would have
I wouldn't
done.
even hesitated.
Oh, yeah, it'd be zero hesitation because you're like, okay, we beat the odds to get to this point with both of us together. The odds of going further are going to be harder, and this allows these other two people to progress. So it's actually in many cases it's the nice thing and the fair thing to do, but that was not the case here.
No, and even when the massage therapist came in, and I can't remember if it was Jimmy or one of the other guys that had their head in the window, they were like, so which one of you guys is going to go home? And they said, are you married? And they were like, yeah. And she's like, well, one of you all should go home. And I'm like, that's what I said. And so it's like, I felt like I'm okay. Now I'm not crazy thinking that, right? Like I'm not that crazy, but it got down to that last hour and they weren't budging. I wasn't budging. And I did see their point, and necessarily isn't fair, that they are two individual people. They're competing as separate people. So I get that. Like, it's not fair to lump them into one, but the statistics
you were leveraging their caring for each other.
Yes.
And having one of them sacrifice.
Absolutely. And it didn't work out in my favor. It was my strategy and it didn't work. And
so
it got down.
Did they, were there heated words going on or no?
There were some comments that we both kind of shot back at each other. And I don't know if I want to repeat them because I really hope they don't get aired on national.
You don't have to.
They weren't bad necessarily, but they weren't necessary, right?
There was a little bit of tension building.
There was definitely some tension because I was like voicing my opinion, like, I don't understand. Like, if Steven was here, he would sacrifice and go home. Like, he would do that for me. I don't understand why you won't do that for your wife. And when I say I was talking to them, I really felt like I was talking more to the husband than I was the wife. He did most of the talking, which is fine. And she didn't talk. She was very rational and I don't know, she just kind of stayed quiet most of it. And then at the very end, they started talking in another language that I didn't understand. And it sounded like she was trying to convince him to either one of them go home, but it was too late when the timer went off. It was
so all three of you guys got eliminated.
So all three got eliminated.
Oh, so how'd that work for you guys? Was there anger in the room at all, or
we did not speak probably 5 or 10 minutes before the timer went off, and we never spoke again. And we ran into each other multiple times, and it was really unfortunate because.
Well, the thing is, it was just a game. So it
got real personal, and I think that's what was hurtful.
Well, I know, like, so one thing I've noticed, and this has been an ongoing theme with out of all the different podcasts I've done with all the different contestants. It seems like, and like the one of them I did. A lot of the women were surprised that the number of men that would be, gentlemen and be cordial and say, we're going to sacrifice for the woman. Like when I went out.
Oh,
when I went out, I sacrificed myself because I saw what was going on, and I looked at my competition. It was, we were on a platform together, and it was 6 of us, I think, and only one of us could progress. And I'm on there with a few of my friends, and I'm here going, okay, I know when I got to go, and I'm like, I'm out. So I handed off my little token they gave me, and that was it.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I mean, again, it's like, and that's what Steve would have done because he, as you guys said, that's the right thing to do. Man, that's sad because that means nobody. So you guys were among the. Let me find the number.
I think it was 7.
So yeah, so 93 people were eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
7 chambers could not come to a conclusion, the consensus of who's going to go away.
Yeah, and I actually thought it was going to happen because in the last maybe minute, I remember her standing up and walking. They were talking again. I couldn't understand what they were saying, and she stood up and walked over to the handcuff thing on the wall and was continuing to talk to him and talking to him. And then the timer went off, and I didn't say a word because I'm like, I'm not getting in this anymore. This is not. They're not.
Well, you said your piece.
I said my piece. I have no more to say, and I don't want to say anything else. And the timer went off. And then I looked at her. Oh, I did say something. I said, were you going to handcuff yourself to that? And she kind of looked at me like she didn't answer, but the look was like I was going to. And I said, if you were going to do it, just do it. And she's like, they'll see it on the cameras. It's too late. So I felt like we were so close.
You were that close just to getting to that next episode. Now,
I guess I could have sacrificed because my knee was bummed at that point. But again, I didn't know what the challenges were going to be. They could have all been mental,
I will tell you, I won't tell you the challenges. I'll leave that to the mystery until you see the episodes. You would have struggled on some of them.
Probably.
Really, you would have, because there was some physical stuff. There wasn't a ton physical, but there was some stuff that it would have hindered some of your activity. And you ripped the ACL. It's gone.
I fully tore it. Yeah.
Do you have it fixed now, or
surgery's in January?
So you're still suffering.
Yeah. Well, it's better. I can function now. At least it's not swollen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the end of the road for me. It was really sad. I mean, I was obviously tired and emotional, and I don't like conflict, and it just felt yucky.
Well, it was
a sad way to go out.
Well, that was honestly I will tell you, the next day, the whole city was just kind of in a slump. It really was, because that was the hardest. You know, that was probably the hardest mental challenge that I know of that happened during the entire thing. And it was done on purpose, but that's what it is. I mean, but that's the whole. Again, that's why, like the food in Vegas, it was all mental. It was meant to break people down, to make them honestly work against each other. You stayed strong though.
I mean, I was stubborn, but honestly, I wouldn't do anything different.
No,
it's okay.
I applaud it.
Pop out for a second.
Okay.
I gotta grab my charger. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So you guys you fly. They send you back to the hotel. You make obviously you call him. You call Steve.
Oh yeah. Called Steve.
You tell him everything.
Another girl. Yeah, I texted another girl that made it through. She wanted to let her kids know that she's still there. So
okay.
I sent a message to another lady's family, and I let Steve know. And I was exhausted. I don't know about you, but there was a bug going around too. I got the cold or the flu or some sort of bug before I left. So I was pretty tired.
I didn't get that. I did get the when the sunburn that we all got. You know what that was about. Did you remember that? Did you get that at all? Where your face?
I did not. So I heard about that with the sheets. Yeah.
So it wasn't the sheets.
Oh, what was it?
So that was when we were inside the warehouse, they had the vitamin D lights on. And so because we were we're filming, and they're trying to keep the lighting going on, and they're trying to make sure we're all staying healthy. They had all those
being in a tanning bed.
Yeah,
no way. I didn't know that.
That's what caused it all. So yeah, everybody thought it was the sheets, but it wasn't the sheets. But
that's funny. I didn't know that.
Okay. Huh. So you go home. You call Steve. You get home. So how much time passes from when you get home till you guys connect up again?
I picked her up from the airport.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, there we go. So you picked up the airport. Was there any talk about the proposal after that?
I think just talking about.
Well, yes, there absolutely was, because I'm like, have you even talked to my dad?
Oh, that's right.
I'm like, you haven't even asked my dad. My kids don't this is so backwards. And I like you
better talk to my dad. I love it.
The traditional. You better talk to my daddy.
Well, I will tell you that a couple weeks later, I hopped on an airplane and flew to Virginia, and I showed up at her parents' house on Saturday morning at 8:30 in the morning, knocked on their door, and just asked if I could come in for breakfast. And they were like, "What are you doing here?" And
we got it all on video. It's great. We're gonna drop it if we can.
I had her nephew call his grandparents and ask for breakfast on Saturday morning, so I knew that everybody'd be around and dressed ready for company. And so he was there, and then he texted me and said everybody's ready. And so I just pulled up the driveway and walked up to the door, and he filmed the whole thing for me walking in and saying hi. And her parents thought that she was hiding. They're like, where's Tiffany? They're trying to look around me.
Like, it's just me.
Like, it's just me. And he's like, really? What are you doing here?
Oh, he knew what was going on.
Oh yeah, he knew.
So they brought me in and gave me breakfast, and we had a great morning, and it was great. I spent the night there and spent the day with them and headed back home. I was just there for a quick turnaround trip.
Well, he obviously said, yes, you can marry my daughter.
he said, I think the quote is, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, it was cute.
What a fantastic man.
Yeah.
I like the traditional stuff. My son-in-law, he acted like we didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
He's like, I'd like to take you and Shannon out for dinner. I'm like, okay. And so we go out for dinner, and he's sitting there, and the whole time he's trying to get the nerve to ask to marry my daughter. It's just, and it start to come in, and then he kind of like, oh, that's not the right time. And then finally at the end, we're the check's about to come. He says, so you're probably wondering why I asked you guys to come here. And I said, no, we know.
Aww.
And he says, well, I want to ask you anyway. I'm like, okay. And he asked, and I'm like, here's the deal. And this is the only thing I said, do you love her? He says, yes. I said, will you take care of her? And he says, yes. I said, there is no take backs. I said, when she's yours, she's yours. He says, understand. I said, okay, go ahead. No, I mean, and so I think that, Steve, that's awesome. Seriously, I applaud that one a million times over. We need more of that.
Well, and before he asked my dad, he actually asked my children too, my boys.
I put them separately aside, and I
separately. He talked to them because that's the last thing I want my most favorite people in the world to find this out on television. You know,
that's super important too, because you're going to be a big part of their life just as much as you're a big part of Tiffany's life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So really, the only people that know right now are my kids, my parents. A couple of our really close friends.
Your parents know that I asked permission.
Oh, that's fair.
They don't know that I proposed.
Oh my gosh, that's right. The only people that know that I'm engaged. Right. No, you're right. That's, oh my gosh, that's so right. Is my kids. Who else? And a couple of our really close friends.
A couple of our close friends.
That's it.
So your parents may find out watching this.
No, they are going to find out watching it. That's the plan.
Everybody's going to find out.
I haven't been wearing a ring.
Do you have a ring now?
So we bought.
That's a whole story.
Yeah. So we did. We bought a temporary ring for when the show airs, for me to have an engagement ring that's beautiful, which looks like the ring that I want to get. But we have been told that there is potentially opportunity, and we've talked to a couple of sponsors that may want to partner with us.
Okay. Very
and
nice.
Provide.
I think you and I talked about that too, didn't we?
Yes, thank you. Yes, and gift us maybe. So we're going to wait for that opportunity to see if it happens, and if not, we'll just get our ring.
Which is okay.
And likewise, we've already been ring shopping for.
Yeah, we have it picked out.
So you have an idea. You know what?
We have the ring picked out, so it's put together, and we just decided to get the fill-in ring and wait for an opportunity that may present us with one,
So is there any plans other than, because I know we talked about, Tiffany, and you and I talked about, you guys should totally turn this into like a YouTube series. Is there any plans for that? So because people will see they're going to hear this, they're going to see the Beast Games, and they're going to want to follow you guys. They're going to want to see some of the stuff going on.
So I did, I don't know what it's called, like I saved a bunch of videos, and they're in private mode, and I need to send them actually to the Beast team so I can get permission to drop them as the episodes come out.
Right.
Of like videos of us leading up to it, the video of him asking permission from my dad, things like that.
It's videos of me talking to the camera in my car when I'm heading to her dad's, like freaking out.
So you're literally vlogging a good bit of this to yourself.
Just vlogging. That's all it is. That's all we
have videos from Las Vegas in the hotel room before it's all starting. We were together in our room, so we were making some clips.
Okay.
So we have a few things. I mean, we'll just see where it goes.
Okay, so if you were to do this, would you be dropping it on YouTube or
YouTube? It'll be on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I want to need all of those links so I can catch everything when I do this too. But that's going to be exciting. So will there be continuation from not just the proposal side, but up to the wedding?
So that's another thing too. We actually did reach out to production shortly after we got back and said, hey, we would love if Jimmy would like to marry us, maybe.
Oh.
That would be fun. Like maybe we could get married on, we heard there might be a private island somewhere given away. So honestly, we really don't have plans. We're just kind of open. Winging it.
We're kind of waiting until this drops to see if there's any opportunities that come up that could make it fun, make it memorable. Otherwise, we're going to be in Virginia at her folks' house getting married on the front porch, and it's
which is perfect.
It's beautiful there. So
Oh man. Well, I know, like for us, we're moving from Utah in August of next year. And then we're selling literally almost everything we have. I haven't really told anybody this. This is inside information I'm telling you guys. So I proposed this to multiple different studio houses. One is semi-interested into it. If they don't take it, I'm going to probably fund it myself, which is fine. But we're my wife and I. It'll be my wife and I and our youngest son, because all the other kids will be out of the house. And we're gonna leave. We'll sell everything we have in Utah, moving back south, which is where we want to be anyway. But then once we get to Chattanooga, Tennessee, we're going to board a boat that's got 3 cabins in it, and we're going to travel the Great Loop. I don't know if you ever heard of the Great Loop. So essentially, it's all the waterways that connect from like Chattanooga, Tennessee, to Tennessee River to the Mississippi, all the way down to the Gulf, around Florida, all the way back up into New York, dump into the Great Lakes, all the way around the Great Lakes, and then back down to down the Mississippi, and then back into Chattanooga.
That's so cool.
It'll take about a year to do.
That.
It'll take about a year to do. So we're going to do that. And so I'm here thinking, if you guys are not married by then,
Oh. we'll just hop on the boat.
Well, we'll get you on the boat. I'll reach out to Jimmy again and say, hey, we got them on the boat. Come marry them on the boat.
That's right. Just drop us in from a helicopter.
Yeah, that's right. Fly you guys in. That'd be awesome.
Totally propel down.
We'll right. When you're at sea, the captain can marry you, right? That's law.
Yeah.
There you go.
But you want Jimmy to marry you. That's what the whole thing is. You want Jimmy to guys.
We just thought that would be really cool. It would be really fun.
I will reach out to the Beast team myself and say, you guys you're missing an opportunity. What you got to do is let Jimmy marry you and have you be part of another, say, a week-long competition.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be so fun.
Okay, so plans for the future. What is what's the idea? I mean, just for real quick, just kind of what can we look forward to? Do you have a YouTube name picked out?
Oh gosh,
we're
not
so
really.
far behind on any of this stuff.
No, what we did, we did talk to a talent manager that's so nice, and he's actually vetted out some things for us already, like some contracts, because we've had some folks reach out and wanted to,
do some stuff with you.
Yeah, just like talent type contracts. And so anyway, I don't know. I think for me, like, this isn't necessarily like my primary focus. I mean, it is when I'm doing it, but gosh, we have jobs and kids and sports, and it's a lot. And I'm not trying to be famous overnight.
Well, no.
I mean, I would love to be on Dancing with the Stars. That'd be great. But
honestly, we have really a good life. Like we're busy, happy, successful people that have great kids, and we're happy. Like it doesn't have to be.
You don't need anything else.
Yeah. This is just super fun. It's just exciting.
What a cool experience, though.
Yeah.
Think about it. So this is no one else can say that they got engaged on Beast Games.
Yeah.
They have over 40 Guinness records for things on this production. I wonder if that proposal might break a record.
Oh, that'd be so fun. I wonder if it did.
Like if the most viewership, or at least the proposal in front of the most cameras, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the only way to find it, actually go to Guinness.com and see if you see any of those on there. See, I haven't gone and looked at it, but you can go to the Guinness.
It's not on there. I can get it on there, right?
Yeah. Well, if it's not been picked, you can actually go in and add that to it, and you just got to get something to verify that it was done. Which you could reach out to the Beast team and say, hey, we want this. We want some footage to prove that we did this, so we can get the world record. That would be epic.
That would be really cool.
And they'll want to get the Guinness record for the most videoed proposal.
Yeah, the most video proposal in front of it. Well, the most viewed, because it's gonna when that episode drops. If they show that proposal, it will be the most viewed proposal ever.
That's so cool.
You guys may have multiple Guinness records on you.
That's so fun.
Okay, I'm gonna have to research some of this stuff for you too.
We're gonna have to check it out because that would be rad.
Yeah.
Hang those on the wall. Forget about having the YouTube play button. You're gonna have like 3 or 4 of those on the wall. That's an awesome thing.
Guinness records.
Oh man, you guys are great. Well, I'm gonna say thank you guys. Seriously, this is the story I wanted to get. I mean, when Tiffany and I talked about it, I'm like, you guys got to do this. This is awesome. You got to do all the little brainstorming things. And of course, I'm a content nerd, so that's me. But man, that's awesome. Well, congratulations again, by the way. I don't know if I told you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for all your ideas and having us.
Well, if I can give you any more, if you need any help with anything, seriously, you know where I'm at. I mean, I will. I'll talk to anybody.
Aw.
I'm from the South. I have not met a person I have never liked. You may have a problem with somebody. You just bless their hearts, and you're good. You're good.
Exactly.
Bless their heart.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta get used to that one, Steve.
We use it. It's good.
If she ever says, bless your heart, acknowledge, yep, I'm an idiot. I got alcohol. You guys are awesome. Seriously, you guys are such a beautiful couple. I mean, this is just an awesome thing. So I'm going to say thank you again. Seriously, this has been great. I will let you know when I post this. And then if you guys have any social media, we'll just send that to me, and I'll get you guys tagged and everything when I post it. But this one